So I chose to practice in the area of corporate transactional law, and it's interesting. I graduated from law school not really knowing what it was that precisely that I wanted to do with my degree, thinking that I'd probably be a litigator or in the labor and employment area where there's some family history, but found myself over my articles at Stikeman's increasingly drawn to corporate transactional law. I played hockey growing up and really enjoyed being part of a team, having to compete, having a role on that team, the camaraderie, and found many of those same elements present in the corporate transactional practice. We frequently work under intense pressure, have to deliver, we work in large teams, and so that for me was it was a really nice fit. And as a bonus, my role within the team has changed every year through my practice, so it's been a nice fit and it's been an interesting journey. I think I value a number of things with my practice. The thing, one of the first things I value is the opportunity on a daily basis to work with some incredibly accomplished and interesting people, leaders in business and industry and finance. I think within the firm I get an opportunity to learn from some of the top corporate lawyers in Canada. And I think on a personal note, the corporate transactional practice, one of the things I appreciate is it's not necessarily a zero-sum game. And so I have the opportunity to work on transactions where upon completion everyone walks away, or all the parties involved walk away quite pleased with what happened, and it's incredibly satisfying for me to have been a part of that process. One of the interesting things when I think about what the pinnacle of my career has been is that every year I think I would have had a different answer. When I was a junior associate, I quite clearly remember being put into a stretch role, having to lead a transaction, negotiate opposite lawyers far senior to me. And I think I held my own and brought it to a successful conclusion, and that at that point in time would have been a pinnacle and is still a highlight. I think being invited to the partnership at Stikeman's was clearly a pinnacle. It was a recognition of the hard work and dedication I'd put in, and an opportunity to continue to work with some truly special and incredible people. From a work perspective, I think two deals that I worked on back to back over the past 12 to 18 months. Working on the team that advised teachers in the sale of its interest in Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment to Rogers and Bell, and then leading the team that assisted Trelawney Mining in the public transaction where it sold its shares to IM Gold. Both were very, very challenging, difficult transactions where I thought our team was hitting on all cylinders, and we provided tremendous service and strategic and legal advice. So I would say that right now from a work perspective would be the pinnacle. Well, thinking about mentors, my first and most important mentors would be my parents. And I think the thing they taught me both in word and deed is to always give 100%. And that lesson has served me very well. At the office, Dave McCarthy, the head of our corporate group, taught me the value of attention to detail, the importance of knowing when to push and when to sit back, and how to push through a difficult transaction. So, watching him work and learning from him, I think, was incredibly valuable. And then as a young lawyer's perspective, one of my mentors told me, always remember we're in a client service business, and it's crucial at every step to give superior service both internally and externally. So I think that was incredibly valuable advice. When I think about pro bono and volunteer work, it struck me in the U.S. presidential election. One of the lines that President Obama used, if you have a business, you didn't build that, got a lot of airplay. And what was missed was his lead-in language to that was, anyone who's successful had some help along the way. And certainly that's true with me. And I think that's kind of at the heart of the pro bono and volunteer work I do. I feel incredibly fortunate to have had great parents, a great spouse, great mentors, great colleagues, great friends, all who gave very generously of their time to bring me to the place where I am right now. And so, whether I'm teaching at a law school, whether I'm volunteering, coaching T-ball, whether it's spending time with our women's and diversity initiatives at the firm, whether it's chairing our United Way committee, all of those, I think, for me, it's important that I recognize how fortunate I was and people gave their time, and then it's really important for me to give my time and hopefully help someone else who may not be as fortunate achieve their dreams and goals.